Yo, what's going on, guys? Clutch back again with another video for you guys today. Before we do get into it, if you haven't already, please smash a like on the video. Also drop a comment if you have any questions, and also please smash that sub button. We are trying to reach 5,000 subscribers before Christmas, so it'd be massively appreciated. And if you are interested in having your weekly games played by professionals like me, Jamboo, and the pros that work for us, visit improveyourrank.co.uk and use code CLUTCH for 10% off. If you want to win every game like me, visit MMOEXP's link in the description to get the cheapest and safest coins on FC24 and use code CLUTCH at checkout for 5% off. Right guys, today's formation is going to be the 4-4-2-2. So obviously we have done the 4-4-2 recently, and this is obviously similar, but obviously it is two CDMs instead of centre mids. It is one of the absolute best pro formations on the game. A lot of the guys in the pro scene are using it as well because it's very, very busted. And really, if you're not using this, I don't know what you are using in terms of outside of maybe the other meta couple formations. This is right up there with one of the best. So defensive style is on balanced. This is again just because I don't personally like using press tactics, especially when we're playing virtually two banks of four. For me, they just kind of run around everywhere. They don't really stay where you want them to be, and you kind of lose a lot of the attacking joy and the defensive joy that you get with it because players are running around everywhere like headless chickens. So for me, balanced is the way. Now the depth is on 45. This is mostly just because basically we want to have those fullbacks that are a little bit narrower. Make sure we don't concede any silly through ball goals or any through ball opportunities in general. A lot of people don't realise that the actual most vulnerable spaces on the pitch, at least in my opinion, are those spaces in between the fullback and the centre back. And just by ever so slightly narrowing that width, it does just reduce a lot of that risk. Now we are using 71 depth still. I know, everyone's bored of it. No one can be bothered. I get it. We all don't like it. I don't like it. You don't like it. But it is still the most effective thing in the game. And whilst that is the case, unfortunately, I do have to give it to you guys because you just have to be using it. It is just the easiest way to win games is by using that 71 depth. So if you don't understand what 71 depth does, basically they changed depth this year. So the higher your depth basically means the higher your line, and also the fact of your players basically press for you as well. And they basically found that within the game, 71 depth for whatever reason is a pretty buggy depth, and it basically presses really, really well for you in a certain way, which doesn't make your players run around everywhere like idiots. So it's just an absolute no-brainer, if I'm honest. As much as I would like to not recommend it, for these fullback formations, it is just a no-brainer. Now, build-up play is on balanced. Again, for me, I don't like to use fast build-up or slow build-up. The only one I could consider using is long ball, but for me, I wouldn't with a 4-4-2. It's just not kind of what I would like to be doing. I like to kind of build the play up a bit more, go down the wings, use cutbacks, back post crosses, use RB dribbling. I'll be using some skill moves as well to try and break down my opponents. I'm not just lumping the ball up the pitch trying to counter-attack people. So for me, long ball doesn't make it. Chance creation is on direct passing. Obviously, if you don't know what direct passing is, I don't know if you've been playing FIFA for the last few years, but it has been the chance creation tactic to use on FC24. What it does, it basically makes your players who have high sprint speed, acceleration and attacking positioning make better in behind runs, which obviously with how good through balls are this year especially, there's just a lot of stock in using the direct passing tactic because it is just so overpowered. Now the width is on 40. This is because I do want my wingers cutting in and basically being attacking. I want them in the central areas. I find if I'm using a left mid or right mid, a lot of the time they sit way too wide. They don't get central. They don't get in good attacking positions, and they basically just hang out on the wings and don't really do much. So for me, having that 40 width does mean that alongside the instructions, they'll cut inside, get into the good central areas and be a threat. And then our players in the box is on 6 as well. This is basically just to make sure that, you know, we have those extra bodies in there. We want the strikers making runs, the left mid, right mids. We might want a midfielder making some runs as well, which we'll talk about in the instructions. But yeah, we do just basically want those extra bodies in the box to try and help us score goals. Because sometimes 2 players, 2 strikers just isn't enough. We do need those extra bodies. And then I do have my corners and free kicks both on 2. This is just to make sure we don't concede from corner counter attacks, sorry. And also there's a nice corner set piece tactic. If you play it short, basically move to the edge of the box and then swing it back post. There's usually a player at the back post ready there to head it in. Now guys, on to the instructions. This is how I do have my team laid out. A pretty much simple one there. Just 2 kind of box-to-box style midfielders going up and down the pitch and being obviously good going forward and defensive. For me, is probably the most key part of this team. Now, I do have 2 strikers on stay central and get in behind. This is mainly because I do want them in those central areas of the pitch. If you don't know why, basically just having them in the centre of the pitch does just mean that they are at their most dangerous. That is where they'll get the most goal scoring opportunities as well, with stuff like crosses, back post crosses. Obviously you've got cutbacks as well. There are just so many ways to score goals by being in the centre of the pitch. So that is really just as simple as that. And then obviously we do have both on getting behind as well, because they obviously we want them to make the most of direct passing. We want them to be as available as they can in terms of making runs in behind, and just to try and get them as many free and easy goals as we can. Now, I do have one of my CDMs, as you can see here, on stay back while attacking cover centre. This guy will be your more defensive DM out of the 2. This will be the guy kind of sitting back, making sure that you protect the back line, move the ball around, and really just don't concede any silly goals. And then we do have our other CDM. He is on balanced and cover centre. Obviously, both are on cover centre as well, because we do have the wide options. We've got left mid, right mid who are going to help defend, and we do have the left back, right backs as well. So we just don't have to worry about that at all. We just have to worry about covering the centre of the pitch. But this guy will be your more attacking CDM, I suppose. He'll be the one who might drift slightly higher up the pitch, be available for some long shots, maybe make a run into the box every now and then. This guy will be just slightly more attacking and trying to help your team score goals. And then we do have both of our wingers on comeback on defence, cut inside, getting behind, getting to the box for cross. Both are on comeback on defence because, again, like I said, we do want to defend in 2 banks of 4. So they'll almost play like left wing back, right wing backs. They'll sit super deep when we are defending, and they'll basically just give you as many bodies as possible to stop you from conceding any goals at all. Obviously, it does. People look at that and think that means they won't go forward, and they will. I promise you, they will still bomb forward and try and score goals. Now, both are on cut inside because, as we spoke about in the tactics, I do want my wingers being more in the central areas of the pitch. I find that basically they're a lot more threatening in those areas. Like I said, I don't want them just standing out on the wings. I want them getting in the central areas and be available to score goals. And then I do have both on getting behind as well. This is because basically I do want our wingers to still make those getting behind runs. They can make runs behind the fullbacks, even in between the fullback and the centre back, as we have them on cut inside as well. They can make a lot of very good dangerous runs, and with us using direct passing as well, we do want them to make the most of it. And then we do have both on getting to the box for cross as well. This is mostly just to be available for back post crosses and cutbacks and things like that. Just getting them again in more dangerous areas of the pitch to try and help us score goals. I do have, for some reason, both of my fullbacks aren't on overlap when they should be. So I would personally use them both on overlap. For me, this is just so when the left mid and right mid do cut inside, it does mean that they both will take on those wider areas. It does just mean that we still get the wide support going forward, whilst also having the extra bodies in the middle and just making us so much harder to defend because we have so many bodies there. And then obviously we have our centre-back and our keeper all on default instructions. So yeah, guys, like I said, if you haven't, please smash a like and smash the sub button as well. We are trying to reach 5k. It'll be massively appreciated. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.